Shanah, I will wake up in the morning and have messages from Shanah, okay? And it will be like in my messenger, and it's like a paragraph, and then another paragraph, and then some screenshots, and then a paragraph, and then a thanks so much. All I'm doing is reading it. She literally coaches herself. But by typing it, I think she thinks I'm helping. I mean, occasionally I've actually given her some guidance, I think maybe once in a while. But like that's the kind of leader Shanah is. She was not happy with what she was doing. She was not happy with the way the team was going. So we had this big strategy session, and then we had another one, and then she seeked out advice, and then she seeks out learning. She's a lifelong learner. And then she came back, and guess what her team's doing? They're top 50 in the company. Fabulous, right? So, Shanah, I'm going to let her talk because, she wasn't on the program originally. She was just going to be a part of it, but every time I put my head on the pillow, was in the shower, got in the car, her name just kept popping in my head. Yeah, I like you in the shower. Popping in my head. That's where I do my best thinking. Anyone? Bathtub? I'm pretty good in the bathtub too. I ask anyone who Marco Polos with me. Who's had a bathtub Marco Polo with me? It's fun. It's not awkward at all. Shanah, I don't know what to talk about. What was I saying?
That you made me you think about me all the time.
Oh, so I was thinking about her, and I just reached out and I said, I'm very aware that there's only 2 days before conference for the leader retreat. Have you been thinking about, maybe been thinking about wanting to speak? And she was like, holy crap.
She said, do you got something to say? And I was like, to you or to others?
Because she doesn't talk to me, she just types. So, and she was feeling the same way. So that led me to believe that you guys are meant to hear a few minutes, and it's a very few minutes. She's not going to hold you back in the bar, okay? A very few minutes, but her story is worth listening to. Ladies, Shanah Castillo.
So I have no idea how I'm supposed to chase that speech. It was very loud. There's two things that I'm not, and it kind of goes with what I'm about to tell you. I'm not patient, and I'm not woo-woo, okay? So you're going to hear me talk tonight, and I have to kind of chase CJ's speech with a little bit of kick your booty, because like I said, I'm not the woo-woo leader, all right? So you're going to hear over this weekend, you've already heard a little bit the past couple days, and you're going to hear it a little bit again, but you're going to hear about the fast rise to the top, right? Like, I could easily tell you that it took me 5 months to get to executive. I make $21,000 a month, but all that stuff is just stuff, right? And a lot of us don't have the same journey. So I want to talk to you guys today about this Chinese bamboo tree, okay? And I'm going to tell you this little story. So in the Far East, there is something known as the Chinese bamboo tree. It takes 5 years to grow. The man responsible for watering the Chinese bamboo tree has to go out every single day. He has to water it, soil it, fertilize it, okay? He has to go out there every single day, whether it's raining, whether it's too hot, it's too cold, there's snow on the ground. Actually, I don't even know if it snows in China. Does it? It does today. Awesome. Okay, but he has to go out there every single day. He has to do all the things every single day. And can you imagine being like a new neighbor in the neighborhood, and you like see this man going out, watering the ground that has nothing there to show for it, but every day at the same time, he goes out, he waters it, he fertilizes it, and he continues to do that every single day, okay? So he knows that it's not going to break through the ground for 5 years, but yet he still goes out there every single day. He's consistent. Even while the neighbors are laughing, even while there are naysayer neighbors, they don't understand what the heck he's doing. They're wondering what the heck is in his coffee, right? And I tell you that because once the ground is broken, within 5 weeks, that bamboo tree grows to be 90 feet tall. That's pretty fast, right? 5 years of being consistent, of watering, of nourishing, of soiling, of doing the same thing every single day for 5 years, no matter what anybody else thought. And in 5 weeks, it grows to be over 90 feet tall. Now, 90 feet in 5 years, you can look at it like, okay, that tree grew, it only took 5 weeks to grow. Or you could see it for what it really is. And it actually took 5 years to grow a 90-foot tree, okay? So when you're hearing these stories this week and you're hearing, okay, in 5 months I hit executive. In 5 months I retired from my corporate job. I was an accountant, okay? Like you could be hearing all that stuff and you could take it at surface level, but remember what it took to get there and remember that nobody's story is the same. It may take you those periods of going out to your business with an open sign, whether you want to or not. You have to do it every single day. You have to be consistent. It might take you watering and nourishing the plants that you think might be dead. Maybe they're dead. But if you keep doing it, something is going to come from them, okay? So 90 feet tall in 5 years, and if at any time that man stops nourishing that tree, one day, the tree is dead in the soil, right? It's never going to shoot to 90 feet. It's never going to shoot up in 5 weeks' time. It's never going to flourish. And all of these people are going to think, what just happened to those 5 years of your life, right? So now the guy watering and soiling and nurturing the tree, he isn't sowing anything for 5 years. He knows that. He's aware of it. But can you imagine, again, the people who are mocking him, who are saying, what the hell are you doing, right? There's people just like that in your business. They're wondering what you're doing every single day. Some of you guys are in this room and you're like, I don't know what to do every single day. Something. Do something every single day. Because every single day, what I tell my girls is that little by little, a little becomes a lot. Okay? So you're that 90-foot tree, 5 years in the making. Now, is it going to take you 5 years? Probably not. You're in this room because you are trailblazers for 2020, right? Right. So you're going to make a lot more happen in a shorter amount of time. But just know that you might not have a 5-month story. And that's okay. You might not be making $21,000 in a single month right now. That's okay. It's not your story. Okay? Your story is going out and nourishing your business every single day. When you don't want to, when it's raining, when it's snowing, when it's too cold, and even when it's too hot. All right? When the pressure gets strong, when you don't feel like doing it at all, you still have to do it. Maybe your friends, maybe your neighbors, maybe your family, maybe even some of your team are looking at you like, girl, why are you watering that patch of dirt still? Okay? I've done it. I've looked at myself and thought, why am I still doing this? On the days that it's hard, when I've heard 20 no's, when I've sent 25 messages like Sherry McAllister's telling us, like, we don't have to do that. This business is not that hard. You just have to nourish it every single day. So the legend is the tree, right? The question is, again, did the legend take 5 weeks or 5 years? It took 5 years of nourishment, and then it shot and flourished. So every single day, you have to remember, and you have to be at top of mind, like, what fruit do you expect from your business? You sure ain't going to get any fruit on your tree if you ain't watering it, right? Like, you have to do that. So the legacy is you. Your daily, consistent nourishment is putting a stamp on your future and contributing to future generations. Now, I tell my girls, I'm not their mama. I'm not going to be your mama. I refuse to be your keeper, okay? I won't do the work for them, and I'm not going to do the work for you. I won't nag them, and I'm not going to start by nagging you. I won't ask them if they're going to BQ in a single month, even when they're at a goose egg, and I'm not going to ask you today if you're BQ, okay? But I want you to know that it takes daily and consistent nourishment, all right? Like a child to his mama, I'm going to ask you 7 things today. And like I said in the beginning, I'm not woo-woo. I'm not. But there is something very important to your business that will change your entire life and your perspective, and that's knowing your why. But taking and knowing your why from the start is not enough. You have to get down to surface level. You are a woman, you are a sister, you are a mother, you are a mama, like grandmother, niece, whatever. But the thing is that all of us as women are emotionally charged. So if you want to do something with your business, you can't just take your why at surface level. You gotta get really, really deep. Okay? So number 1, what's your why? Shout some whys out. Family. Pay off some debt. What else? Retire your husband. Okay. And like the nagging child, why? Why do you want to retire your husband? Why do you want to pay off your debt? Why is it for your family? You got to get down to the nitty gritty, okay? So I'm going to give you an example of my story. Let me scoot this down here. I'm shutting everything off here. All right, so why? Why did I start this business? I started this business for financial peace. That's pretty general, right? Like, what does that mean? There's not a number on it. How are you supposed to get like emotional level with financial peace? Anybody could say financial peace, right? Why? Because I was being sued by 2 third-party debt collectors for $18,000 in credit card debt, and I had never been in trouble in my life. Talk about scary. That's emotionally connected, right? Because you're scared, you're terrified, you have no idea of your future, you don't have the money to pay, even if you would like to, and you probably didn't have the money to begin with, right? You weren't on a charge. Why? Because I needed to pay for some medical expenses and some home renovations. My home needed renovating. It wasn't like, oh, I want to redo my kitchen because I'd like some new cabinets. No. There were like serious things going on. There was mold that I needed to fix. There was holes in the house. Like we're talking serious house renovations. And I was hospitalized for 22 days. I had a $97,000 hospital bill. Now, was most of that covered by insurance at the time? Yes. But I did have to pay a lot. And a lot of that went on charge because I couldn't afford it. And then I let it go because I couldn't afford that credit card bill, right? So all of that stuff is emotional. Why? Because I prayed and I hoped and I wished on a star for 7 years for an opportunity at motherhood. I struggled with obesity. I weighed almost 400 pounds. Struggled with obesity, PCOS, heart palpitations, borderline diabetic, and completely infertile for 7 years. They told me I'd never have a baby. They told me I would never ovulate, right? So those are emotional ties to the connection to charging the credit card when I didn't have money, more a month at the end of the money, right? Splurging a little bit on house renovations to take care of some mold, right? And all of that goes back to financial peace. You got to get rid of that. Like, you need that weight off of your shoulders. That weight wasn't given to you by Jesus. He said, give it up, give it to God, right? So why? Why did I get to obesity? Because I faced childhood bullying for my entire life. I graduated a year early from high school to run away from people. And why? Because people can be unkind, right? So you have to take your surface level why, your family, retiring your husband, paying off debts. Where did the debts come from? How much are the debts? How painful is that right now? How much does it hurt? Get to the surface level of why. Because that why and the emotional connection that you make to that is going to propel you through your business when you hear the naysayers, when it's raining outside in your business, when you're hearing the no's, when you don't want to do it, when you don't feel like it, when your team are zeros, and you got to keep pushing on because you got a rank to uphold or you got an income to make. Like, those days are hard. And all of you guys sitting in this room are leaders, and you make an impact on the world, and we have the opportunity to make a difference. One of the girls on my team recently, Brittany, she was telling me, she's like, man, I had to tell one of my girls, yeah, we're not changing the world with nail strips, but we're making big differences for people. Like, I haven't worked in 15 years. I've raised 4 boys at home. Like, who's going to hire me? Right? You've heard that story. You hear these stories from other mamas. So the point of all this, and the point of the man with the Chinese bamboo tree, is that he persisted. And you have to persist. When you leave here, I am the biggest spokesperson for a leadership retreat because it will change your business. Now, is it retreat that changes your business? No. It's you that changes when you walk out of here. So you have the opportunity to change your business. So get down to the emotional connection of your why. Remember the Chinese bamboo tree every single day, even when you don't feel like it, because that's something that's really changed the motion of my entire life. So I just want to share that with you guys. I want to kind of power you up. I probably should not have went after CJ.
Yes, you should have. That was freaking awesome.
Okay,
You
maybe.
think that maybe it wasn't a coincidence that All right, so I'm very aware that this could be a very big mistake, right? That